Hello, Self Ohana Universe. This is Soul Dr. Nick here. Magic Mirror Work Part 2 for today, August 14th at 6:04 p.m. I stopped earlier because the family was coming in and I want to keep my life and family separate. And yeah, back here in PEI in my home that I grew up in, I'm really grateful for this home and feeling the energy of it all, the heaviness sometimes. And I'm really grateful that I spent all this time with family, my parents' 50th anniversary celebration. And I'm really grateful that we lived in another home while we were here. We're gifted one by one of my dear friends, and really grateful for that experience and experience of living with some other family members and what it's like to be in close connection and with another mom and daughter and learning a lot. When's the last time I spent 20 some days with anyone other than my beloved and my parents and my son in a row? And from there, really seeing edges of myself. I always thought I was really good at being selfish, but at one point I realized I'm getting really tired. It's because I kept pushing myself to try to please what I thought everyone else wanted. And in doing so, I lost sight of myself, lost sight of my connection with my beloved, was getting a little short, was getting a little tired, and then everyone else was getting tired too because we were all just doing too much. And then realized when I asked, like, hey, you guys get to slow down? Like, yeah, let's all slow down. It's like, oh, okay, let's do that. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? And it was partly because I was working with a couple clients and just trying to remind them, hey, take it easy on yourself. Stop trying to live for everyone else and everyone else's approval and everyone else's judgment. I realized I was doing the same thing too. Clients are just a reflection. Over and over again, I'm getting these reflections. And I had the gift, the privilege, the absolute honor of breathing a couple entire families. And wow, how good is that? All those years of interactions to be able to shift some of the context and the stories, to see the power, to see the ceremony, to see the love. And there's such love and there's such trust. That's the thing that's so clear. In these relationships that have lasted for decades, there's such love and there's such trust. It doesn't mean there isn't the anger, the resentment, the stories, the guilt, the shames. And with that love and trust, everything is possible. And then so grateful that my skills, being able to practice even this, like this has been practice from being able to speak just off the cuff in front, whatever's coming to mind, allowed me to be the MC for my parents' ceremony, and it was great. And I didn't say half the things, and my son wanted to jump in my arms and all of this stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna roll with it. And people were like, that was amazing. And I was like, well, I know how amazing it could have been, and I'm glad it already was amazing. And it's a reminder for me, who am I trying to do this for, right? And I get to set my own bar, and I get to see where I could have gotten better, and I get to appreciate what I've already done. And it's the same thing even this morning after doing some work. I was playing Pachelbel's Canon in D for the first time, and it wasn't perfect, but it reminded me I'm perfect, imperfect. I'm perfection, imperfection, and can actually be with the imperfections to actually be perfection. And by doing so as well, because I was thinking I want to play in my in-laws' house and practice on the piano. I don't want my niece to suddenly think you have to be perfect all the time. It's actually great to make mistakes. It's great to have people see you the way you are rather than just the image you want to show. And that's part of this magic mirror work. It's been showing the progression of where things are at. Since the beginning of this year, when I first started getting these phones to start doing this has changed drastically. And I've had really good support, coaching, and really not much as well. Because part of it is, how do I find my natural rhythm in all of this life? And that's the piece. Like, I know that I could start pouring accelerant onto the work that I'm doing. And instead of doing that, it's let's get clear on the message. Who do I really want to be? How do I be? And this is what I'm trying to practice, radically selfish. Like, really know my edges. Be able to say no when I mean no without having to justify it. Because as I've said before, everything's a story. Everything comes after the word because is just a story. And so why do I have to keep going into the stories that are going to keep changing? Just be okay with the yes or the no right now. And even the yes or no in future can change, but that's because everything has changed then. And I said earlier, it's crazy the critters that we've caught here and seen. It's crazy the amount of time that we've dedicated towards family and really close friends. And I've done things like, oh my God, I feel really weird about saying this, but canceling a retreat. It's crazy and it's true. And I realized, thank you. Thank you for that wisdom. Thank you for that compassion from my dear people I'm doing it with. That they're like, yeah, why would we follow through right now? And yeah, it's still something to work through. It's still, how do we do the post-mortem on this? How do we learn from this so we don't do the same thing again? And partly, how do we find the alignment? How do I create the flow in? Because I know that the work I'm doing is getting clearer and clearer, and it's getting more and more effortless to deliver it. And it's switching from how do I not die to how do I live? And how do I meet the people who really want to live and who've created the resources to do that? Because I want this to be easy, effortless, and fun for all of us. And in this creation stage, I'm so grateful that I get to do it with family. I've gifted it to some family. I'm making it ridiculously accessible for some family. And I want to do that because I'm learning with them. And part of the gift in all this is I'm not saying I have to figure it all out. Aside from just my founding team at Ohana Sage, I'm guiding people towards the people I love working with. Because why not? Do the parts that I love, have other people do the rest, and right now bring in the whole package together. Be able to see it from both the overall overarching theme of what it is that they're ready for and wanting to do, and also the overarching theme of how do I make this into a really great, viable business the way I want to do business. And then keep noticing, how do I want to live my life? Am I actually practicing Ohana, which means family, and actually prioritizing family? And prioritizing doesn't mean just letting them walk all over me. So sometimes when they ask something, I say no. I just say no. We want you to do this. No. We want you to help plan this. No. We want you to drive here. No. And whenever possible, I'm a yes. And I remind them, ask me some things that may seem ridiculous to you, and I may just say yes. Right? Whether it's solving something with money, like buying a family or a plane ticket or something else. Totally. Oh, time to go. Ciao for now.